The Baby Lock Allegro is a great sewing and quilting utility machine. It's going to have a lot of features on it. First thing we notice is the large space on this machine. This is a lot bigger machine than you're used to seeing because it can do so many more things. The first thing you're going to notice is from our needle to the inside of the sewing arm is 12 inches of space to work with. So if you're quilting, I can roll up my quilt here, and then I have plenty of room for me to do my free motion work. If you need an extension table, we do carry extension tables made to fit the Allegro to support the weight of your material to the left of the machine. The machine will have 200 stitches built in. Of those stitches, you're going to get utility stitches, quilting stitches, heirloom stitches, and all kinds of decorative stitches built in. The machine is also laid out very easy for me to thread. Here I have a horizontal spool pin. Everything is going to be channeled, and on the machine it shows you and tells you exactly where to place your thread. Everything will be channeled for me all the way down to my needle, and I do have a built-in needle threader on it. On the side of the machine I do have adjustable pressure knob here, and that regulates the amount of force being pressed down onto my material. So if I'm working with a lighter weight material, I can back that off. If I even need to, I have a straight stitch needle plate, and that will reduce any likelihood of my fabric being pressed down into the bobbin case area. If you're doing free motion work or piecing, the straight stitch needle plate is great, and that's included with the Allegro. There's a lot of computer controls on the machine, and it's laid out very easy for me to get to all the different functions of my machines. I don't have to push a lot of buttons to get to where I want to go to. On the screen here is really bright for me to see. I can see the exact stitch that I'm working with, so I know for my placard up here where I'm at, I can regulate the width right here and the length right in front of me at a fingertip. And there's other things built in on the machine for engaging my scissor, mirror imaging stitches, adding stitches. I can go into my alphabets here. So there's really easy just for me at a touch of a button right in front of me to get to where I need to go. I really like all the other computer controls on the machine. I can override the speed of the machine. Now the Allegro does have a start-stop button here. You also will get a foot control. So if you want to use the foot control, it works just like a traditional sewing machine. If you don't, you unplug it, and here I just turn the machine on and off with start-stop. I can override the speed of the machine here no matter which one I have engaged, whether I'm using the foot control or the start-stop, to get it to a comfort level for whatever sewing that you're doing. Here I can push this button to engage the scissor. Here I can do the needle up, needle down feature, and I do have the reinforcement stitch here that ties that stitch off for me underneath so it's hidden and out of the way, and I do have traditional reverse here. The Allegro is a dual quilting and utility machine. I can remove the accessory tray, and I have a really long free arm here, so if I'm working with a piece of, say I'm hemming a pair of pants or a shirt sleeve, and I need to get the stitches on further up the leg or the sleeve, I have a lot more room to work with. And the accessory tray, I like how it folds out, so I can leave it on, open the door, get to whatever I need to get to, and then put it right back, keep everything nice and neat and organized. There's also another storage compartment right in the back here for me. Now the Allegro will have drop feed, so if I want to drop the feed dogs for darting a hole, or if I'm doing free motion quilting, I can get those feed dogs out of the way. It does come with a knee lift. The knee lift is real handy for when I'm doing free motion. I can actually use my right leg to raise and lower the presser foot here so I can keep both hands onto my fabric. Now the Allegro has a lot larger motor in it than your average sewing machine will have, and I will have extra high lift on the presser foot so I can get thicker pieces of material. Here I'm working with 8 layers of denim, and that's pretty much the side seam on a pair of blue jeans. I'm going to get that underneath the foot. I've got it on straight stitch. We'll back our speed down just a little bit just for demonstration purposes. Green means go, so I'm ready to start sewing. We'll back it down a little bit further. Now we're going to show you the power of that top drop-in bobbin. It crawls down onto or can crawl up and over on materials. I'm going through a standard cotton right here, and now I'm going to do a stretchy material. I'm going to show you we don't have to adjust our tension or anything on this machine as we're sewing through all these different layers of material, these different types of material. So now I hit my reinforcement stitch. I'm going to hit the scissor. It'll snip that thread, the bobbin and the top thread for me. And I went through 8 layers of denim with no problem, through a cotton, through some stretch material, no puckering, no problem whatsoever for the Allegro. The Allegro has 200 sewing and utility stitches built in. I have my straight stitch. I can move the needle position over if I need to put in zipper, cording, piping, that type of thing. Here I'll sew 2 stitches forward and 1 reverse. For different stretch material, I have my standard zigzag that we can easily adjust the width and the length on. Here I have all these different one-step buttonholes built in. Now the Allegro does come with a special attachment that I can place the button I'm working with in, and it's going to size it every time to all these popular styles of one-step buttonhole. I have some overcasting stitches here, just like what a serger would have. Now I have some blind hem stitches, different tacks, depending on what type of material that I'm working with or the application. I have a standard sharp tag. We'll have rounded off tacks. This one here is for working with stretch material. Then I have the old-timey feather stitch here. Have some other blanket stitches built in. Now I'll get into some of the decorative stitches. If I want to do some heirloom sewing, I have that. Here's more overcast and applique stitches that are built in on the Allegro. And then I get into some of the decorative stitches that are built in. I have my heirloom stitch here. And then as I move on down the stitch placard, I have other decorative stitches that are built in on the machine. I've seen these used in all kinds of application for embellishment. I've seen them used on quilt tops for piecing and things of that nature. I've seen customers actually put the quilt together with some of these stitches, and you'll be surprised just how pretty they look on your quilt tops. So we have all that are built in on the Allegro. The computer controls are real easy to operate on the Allegro. First I have the bright screen here, and I can adjust my width here and the length here. I do have the ability to go into some of my alphabets real easy just by pushing a button. Now I can make a quilt label or a garment tag. I can mirror image a lot of our utility stitches here. I have the ability to fast forward through the stitch count really easy. I push it here, I'm in my utility mode, and then I can just page over from here. The way the computer board is laid out, it basically splits it between themes of stitches. So if I want to go with the decorative stitches, I'll hit that button, and then I can start fast forwarding until I get to the number, and it shows me the picture of the stitch on screen. If I want to go to the one-step buttonholes, there I'm at it, and I can look at my stitch placard on the front of the machine, and I know exactly which one-step buttonhole that I'm going to be working with. So the machine's laid out for me really easy. You're going to have a great time using the Allegro. Ken Sewing Center is your authorized Baby Lock dealer. With every machine you purchase from us, you get our premium support package. We're here for the life that you own the machine. All you have to do, be sitting in front of your machine, pick up the phone and give us a call, and we're going to be able to help you with anything you have need of. If you have questions on the Allegro or need us to compare this machine to other machines that we sell, don't hesitate. Drop us an email or give us a call anytime.